I've decided that I'm the only movie and video game reviewer possibly ever, just because I think I deserve that, because I've recorded myself crashing out yesterday. That was fun. It was better than crying on the phone to my boyfriend, which is what I did before that. And I just think that, you know what, maybe just having a casual little chat might fix the issues. I'm gonna change my lighting just off dome. Whoa, so much more light. It's like I'm in a well-lit house. Listen, I don't like how people talk about video games. I don't like gamers as a culture. I'm really sorry. I know, I'm one of you, okay? I like to press the buttons. But what I don't like is, I don't know. I just don't like that you guys hate everything, okay? My favorite video game is Blasphemous 1. Blasphemous 2 came out. And at one point I was like, you know what? I'll peruse Reddit. I'll do that to myself. And I'll just check it out. I'll take a look-see, see what the people are saying. Why were you complaining about a pixel difference in an animation? Why weren't we enjoying this game as an art form? Okay? I think the core disagreement I have is that people don't approach video games as an art form. And they kind of just see it as, well, am I having the best fun ever? And is this made catered for me? It's like, no, you're Austin from Austin. And somehow you are the core demographic because they want to make you happy no matter what. Like, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that the people that complain the much are the target demographic for so many video games? Like, there's so much complaints about, like, oh, the woke mob, they're turning everything gay, they're adding black people into the video games, and oh, a woman's the main character, of course she is. It's like, people exist. What is the alternative? What do you want? You don't want to see those people. I don't know. And it's all white guys, admittedly. I'm hating right now. I'm aware of that, okay? But just like, why can't you appreciate this game for more than the sum of its parts, okay? People approach Blasphemous very mechanically. They compare it to other Metroidvanias. I'm using this as a comparison just because I think, oh, this will make you understand my point of view, obviously. And they'll say, oh, it's a Metroidvania, it's a platformer, I think it has interesting characters, character design, and the action is pretty good. I felt that the combat system was pretty good. And I am somebody that prioritizes substance over style. I love a good style, but really, it's to spice up the substance, and the substance is what matters, right? The movie. Obviously. But in this case, I think a lot of gamers forget that style matters. Okay, admittedly, these are probably guys that take all their notes in a big document. There's no formatting whatsoever, no highlighting, there's no separation of information, and it's just all there. And they don't understand the importance of doing that for your brain and for yourself, and how style can accentuate your experience, your note-taking experience. Okay. Wow. That was really cool. Do you guys like my sunglasses? You said you like the other ones. Like, half the comments I got on my crash out was cool sunglasses. And thank you. I know. I have 2 pairs. But I see video games as a art style. And I understand that isn't a very common opinion, because then you are faced with the fact that your hobby could be artistic. And that's so embarrassing. But to me, art is anything that is made to either make the viewer or the creator feel something, okay? That's a very subjective take, and I don't think that art will ever have a strict definition, because it is a uniquely human experience that is different for every single person, and it's created for so many different reasons, because it's perfect, it's human, it is humanity, right? So I understand that I'm not, the prevailing opinion on this. And you might completely disagree with me and say video games are just, a thing I do. It's just a hobby. That's cool. But you cannot, therefore, devalue your entire experience by minimizing it. You have to appreciate the amount of passion that is put into it, if not the artistic value, right? For example, let me give you an example, right? uh oh, sorry, the blasphemous example I was talking about. Right. So people always approach it from that angle. What drove me to it was, oh my god, this is one of the most immersive. Sorry, I just got my parents to watch the Jenny Nicholson Star Wars hotel video, and I'm still stuck on the word immersive and putting it into my daily vernacular. But it is the world building is so immersive because you're finding all these random bones scattered around this just rotten landscape, and every bone has a story attached to it. So you learn about these random people that otherwise would be forgotten because they're not important to the story, you know. They don't really matter, right? But they do. They add a dimension to this world that wouldn't be there otherwise if the penitent one was just kind of like, I found this pelican bead somewhere, and yeah, it's crazy, you know. And the description does have lore, it does have a bunch of stuff attached to it. But that connection to this was, you know, maybe a little kid's talisman doesn't have that connection until you have the stories of real people, right? And I don't see people talking about that, and it's kind of crazy to me. That, you know, stories like that, games like that, are not appreciated for the amount of effort they put into the world to this new existence, this platform, this dimension in your brain that is being created. There's no appreciation for that, right? Blasphemous, the world of Custodia would not exist otherwise if it wasn't for the game kitchen. My dad went to Seville with like a school trip, and I'm really really hurt that he didn't go to the game kitchen. I don't know if they have tours, but it told that he did not, and it's fine. And yeah, that's my thought on video games. I want them to be approached from every angle, and I feel that a lot of game reviewers and a lot of just gamos just don't do that, okay? They're an art form, and you can disagree with me, and that's okay. But I need you to still pay attention to all of the experience. The combat in Blasphemous 1 is very different from Blasphemous 2. That is correct. The platforming in the Mea Culpa DLC is insane. Did I ace it every time because I'm really good at platforming? Yeah. Yes, I did. And it's important to bring that up because it's part of the player experience. But you know what's another aspect of the player experience? Losing history over the span of 1,000 years in the span of 2 video games, and nobody brought that up. Nobody mentioned that. They're like, yeah, it had different areas, you know, I like the progression better, and I want to hear that. But I also want you to hear about how it focused more on fantastical creatures, on not as much gore and violence, the cause of that, how that impacts the story, and then it punches you in the end, right? Um, Maybe I have a very biased perspective as somebody who is not afraid of talking about less masculine perspectives in video games because I'm a woman and I'm bisexual. And I've read a fair amount of queer theory. I've heard a lot of it to the point where I feel like I've developed past the to see masculinity, femininity as not these strict rules that you have to follow, but something that you define for yourself. But that's a whole other thing. And in that process, I feel that I have a very unique perspective in an industry that is dominated by straight white men. And I'm not saying that as a stereotype, I'm saying that as an objective truth. Um, really sorry about that. Um, I don't know. I think that video games shouldn't be approached from this perspective, and I think that people should stop complaining about them being woke. That's another thing I'm going to talk about right now. I'm really not going to talk about movies. I don't think I'm a good. Actually, no, I will talk about movies, but that's later, whenever I talk about them. So, anyway, the woke. You're silly and stupid if you think video games are like woke now. Like, that's so stupid. Because whenever these people talk about that, they're like, game reviewers, mostly guys, straight white guys, they will say, oh, this video game is woke. There is a female main character. You have to pick between genders, and you have to pick your pronouns and all that. And my response to that is, what is the alternative? What do you want to see instead of these options? You don't want to have that gender option? Okay. So you don't do you only want to see men or do you only want to see women? Well, I want to see women, but they have to, they can't be ugly. Why does the woke left only want to see ugly women? What do you consider attractive women? What roles do they play in a story, right? And also, this approach of, oh, this thing is woke, this thing is not woke, it really just feels like you want to see something that is catered specifically to you. You want to see yourself represented in the characters you play. You want to see storylines that you appreciate that call to your perspective. And it's like, doesn't everyone deserve that in some way, shape, or form? Don't I deserve to see my experience as a half Hispanic person represented, maybe metaphorically, maybe a little bit of fantastical heritage? Maybe what if I was a mermaid? If I was a mermaid, which one of my parents would be the fish? No, neither of them would have sex with the fish. That'd be weird. Anyway, I'm also putting these up. Everything looks so white. I look really washed out. That sucks. I'm filming this just in my room. I think I've decided I have to record videos the same way that I prepare food. I have to do it very quickly because I'm hungry. I don't want to spend a lot of time making the food because, when I'm at college, I get food from the dining hall, immediate, right? And when I make food, it's a panini, it's a ramen, right? Max 10 to 15 minutes. And I think that I need to do that for videos and just make the prep time and the upload and everything just lower quality right now because I want to get things out. I want to create stuff. This is my hobby. This is something I enjoy. And I don't really care if a lot of people see it because this is what I want to do. I would much rather do it with a script. I would much rather do it with music in the background and not the wind whooshing by my window. I would much rather do it with, some sort of guidance from myself, but I can't provide that. So I'm just yapping in front of my camera. Not even my camera, my fucking phone, because then I'd have to upload it to the laptop. Well, actually, I could do that. But it's segmented. The camera splits things up. I don't know. I don't like my camera, and I spent $20 on it because I had a gift card for the rest. Anyway, back to the woke. I just don't like it. And the people that say those things, I consider bigoted. And I know that that is a stretch because they're not saying terrible things. But for me, it's more than enough because it's saying you don't want to see anybody except yourself. And you actively, you treat those people very degradingly. You say, oh, these women are hags. And it's like some woman that, like, in ancient Greece would be considered a 10. And also that doesn't matter. Like, you realize that women have come so far and how they've been represented in media. You realize that that is important to us. You realize that you can't just say that because it's rude and it's also wrong. Why are you stuck in the 50s? I don't know. Probably because it benefits these guys. Because then, they get to save the girl. They get to feel better about themselves. And then the girls are sitting there like, why am I the one being saved? I don't think I have more to say on that. I definitely would, but I want to move on. Yeah. I also want to say something about a specific video game at the end, and it's fine. And I might not even talk about it. But whatever. Maybe, you know what? I think I'm going to call this video I Didn't Like Hollow Knight, and I'll just talk about Hollow Knight at the end. I could do that. People would hate me for that. Oh my god. I'm not doing that. Anyway, so movie reviews. I don't rate movies on a 1 to 10 scale, 5 stars, any numbered scale, because I can't do that really well. Because to me, it's like, if I say, 1 to 0, you're gonna assume some sort of quality if it's less than overall, right? And for me, I would want to do that itemized. You get a point for everything you did right or wrong. I think my boyfriend texted me. Hold on. Because I want to see him. We'll be done in like 25 minutes. Cool. I can film this in 25 minutes. Cool. Awesome sauce. If you will. So no, how I rate movies, and I recommend them to other people, is that there's a sliding scale. And if I was going to edit this video, if DaVinci was working on my computer, I would add that picture and I would make that sliding scale. But we're here and we're recording. And that's it. That's the whole thing. It is sliding scale, okay? So up here is movies that are good quality. Down here is movies that are bad quality. Over here is movies that I enjoyed. And here's movies that I did not enjoy. So, for example, Citizen Kane, the film movie, one of the greatest movies of all time. It was really good for its time. It integrated a lot of interesting cinematography, but it's really just the story of a businessman. And in modern day, I'm not thrilled by it because I have seen the techniques that it invented in other movies that I consider better. So objectively, good movie. I didn't enjoy watching it. Okay? Right. So, a good movie that I enjoyed was, I'm trying to think of objectively, like really like lauded. Oh, The Martian. I love The Martian. It is one of my favorite science fiction movies of all time. All right, movie I enjoyed, movie that is well known. It is really good quality. Da 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 da. Right. And now let's take a more controversial one, but only for people that have heard of it. Emma with a period at the end. This is a 2020 film, 2021 film, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, remake of the OG story. Please do not read the book. It irrevocably messed up my relationship with the English language. I think it was a really good movie. However, a lot of critics are like, it was really unfocused. I didn't like the plot. You see, I've characterized the critics as annoying and needling. I thought that it was very messed up. It's very flexible, whatever. Okay, my subjective opinion is that it was a very good movie and that I enjoyed it, right? The general public is gonna say that it was okay, all right? In my opinion, because I didn't want to appreciate it and it has a non conventional story structure, but that is my opinion, all right? So the objective opinion from the audience is I didn't like it. It was bad quality, but I liked it, right? So that goes there. Oh my god, my boyfriend's calling me. I'll call him back in 1 second. I'll just be really quick about this. A movie that I think is bad and is objectively bad. Saltburn. Actually, no, that one goes into the center dot, which I will talk about in a sec. It was a really bad movie. I feel like there have been bad movies I've seen, but I always try to find good stuff and always try to enjoy whatever I'm engaging in some way. So I don't know. But a bad movie that you didn't enjoy. Oh, 50 Shades of Grey. I think it was a horrible movie. It's known as a horrible movie just because of plot, because of characters, whatever. And it's just, I didn't enjoy watching it. I was like, this is the BDSM movie? This is the big sexy one? He's just slapping her on the ass. Like, I guess for some people that's pretty cakey, but like, objectively. Okay? And now the final dot. The dot right in the center of the screen. It was an experience. This is squarely where Twilight and Saltburn sit, okay? I don't think Saltburn was a good movie, but it's an experience. It is shock factor, all right? I like showing it to people because I'm like, isn't that crazy? I've heard that Nosferatu is like that. I still haven't watched it. I intend to. And I love, what's his face? Nicholas Hoult. Oh, he plays Little Freak, and I love Little Freaks, okay? I consider myself a Little Freak, except I'm of average height, okay? It's a movie that you watch with other people. You don't watch it alone. Yeah, that's the whole thing. But I also have realized I need to train myself to watch movies alone because growing up, it was a very social experience for me. It was something my family and I would watch together. We watched a lot of movies together. That's how I had a love for movies because we would break it down, dissect it. Well, no, it's with my family. That'd be weird. Ew. Anyway. But like we would dissect movies, right? We would talk about it. Actually, my uncle went with us once to watch the new gen of the Star Wars movies, or no, the new Star Trek movies, which I adore. I think Beyond is one of my favorite Star Trek movies and sci-fi movies ever. And he was like, never watch a movie with them. They will rip it to shreds. And that is absolutely correct. It's how I have become a little bitch in my age. I don't know where I would sit. I guess young. But anyway, yeah, I learned to do that, and I learned that for me, watching a movie is something you do with other people. You comment about it, you talk about it while it's happening, you experience it together, and you talk about it afterwards. And now I want to watch movies alone, but I can't because it's like, well, I don't have anybody to watch it with, and it's like, that's the whole point, right? Yeah, I think that that's a really good rating, a way to talk about movies. It was good. It wasn't good. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was good. Objectively, da 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 da. It was an experience. I want to show it to you, and I want to see you just go, oh my god. Right? So, yeah, didn't like Hollow Knight. I got lost a lot, and I like Blasphemous more as a Metroidvania, and they're very similar. And you should play Blasphemous. You should also play Hollow Knight if you didn't like Blasphemous, or actually, play Blasphemous 2 if you didn't like Blasphemous 1. There's something for everything here. Yeah. Bye.